Hello, YouTube land. This is Brenton Son coming to you from Lexington, Kentucky, the Bluegrass State. All right. I was thinking about Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump today, and this email stuff's coming back up again. After she was ordered to turn the emails over, they destroyed emails. And some of the emails they destroyed with a hammer, stuff like that. But I'm sitting there thinking, I know when Director Comey of the FBI, he looked at all of this, he said that that it was likely that she got hacked. But given the sophistication of these hackers, that they probably wouldn't be able to detect it. But, Hillary goes around saying, Director Comey cleared me and no one hacked us and blah, 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 She basically doesn't either understand what all was said, because they really said that she was unsophisticated, so she didn't understand what she was doing, breaking the law, and they couldn't prove that she did it intentionally. Traded, on espionage anyway. So they, that's not a good thing to say. She's so unsophisticated that she didn't understand what she was doing, or they'd basically have to indict her. So when she says, "Oh, we were cleared," and no, you weren't. You were either said they said basically either you're a liar or you're so unsophisticated you didn't know what you're doing, because you did do enough to be indicted. That's a fact. That's what he said. So either way, it's not good. But put all that aside and say, okay, let's just forget that. Foreign actors have her emails. When it comes to spying on other countries, countries go to great lengths. When you think about, like, when we put up a satellite back before digital or anything like that. I don't remember what years it was. It was when we were during the Cold War, early on. They built a satellite that was the size of a bus. The film in it was probably like a 50-gallon drum roll. Kodak got the contract for it. And the film roll itself was like, it was humongous. Basically, the film roll was like a 50-gallon drum, and it was like 12,000 feet or something of film or more. I don't remember exactly, but it was like 12,000 or something like that. And they would take pictures as the satellite went around, and they snapped pictures over Russia, and then the satellite would drop a canister of film, and it would enter the atmosphere, deploy a parachute, and planes, there would be like 5 planes come by, had hooks on the back of them that hung down, and they would hook that parachute and collect the film. They went through great lengths to get information like that. So for anyone to think that Hillary would not have been hacked, that her email wouldn't have been hacked, when if you look back through things that countries have done to get information on other countries, the extent they would go to, like when they dropped that film, they had a thing on CNN called Declassified, right? And they dropped one of those rolls of film, and the parachute didn't open, so it went all the way, hit the ocean, and they were looking for it and looking for it. The U.S. basically spent millions and millions of dollars recovering that canister off the bottom of the ocean at like 14,000 feet deep. That's how that's the extent they would go to gather information. So for Hillary to have an email server that was not protected by the government, basically, not secure, to think that they wouldn't hack that is ridiculous, especially when people she communicated with was known to have been hacked. They, at some point, someone said, "Wow, this person we've been hacking has communication with Hillary Clinton, who is the Secretary of State. Should we hack her?" I can imagine them asking this over in Russia or China or Iran, places like that. And they would be like, "Yes, hurry up, because surely that's not going to be, they're going to shut that server down soon." I suppose. And I'm sure that they went in and they hacked her, and they came up with a plan to do it where it'd be undetected. And possibly, they got with, like Russia could have got with Iran, knowing that Iran had to communicate with Hillary Clinton over the deals and stuff that were made, even, over the nuclear deal that was made. So, say, just for instance, that Iran sent an email so that she would open it and it would give them inside information that they can insert inside the server, that something, was opened inside. And then Russia could say, "Hey, we'll make a deal together here and we'll share this information." That's just a theory, but typically they want to try to get you to open something. But I don't even think they need that kind of thing. They can do it in all kinds of ways. And so if Hillary was to become president, and because I think that Iran is acting very hostile, buzzing our ships. Today we found out that there was like $1.2 billion possibly given to Iran for the hostages. And at first they're saying, "Oh, we didn't give any ransom," but Iran's been saying this is ransom. And it turns out that it wasn't 400 million. It was more like 1.2 billion so far of what they found. They found more money had been given. And so, they've been lying about that. And it makes you wonder if maybe Iran has, let's just say Iran for the moment because of what they've been doing, if they have some emails that would cause some serious issues with Obama and Clinton, because they've honed in on something in these emails that would maybe cause them both to get in some serious issues, trouble, probably to do with the Clinton Foundation money that I believe is probably something to do with money through the Clinton Foundation. So here we have Iran buzzing our ships. Another case on this past Sunday, they did it again. They're acting hostile towards our military, and you would think, man, they wouldn't do that. They have something on someone to be able to outright get money from the U.S. and then tell their citizens that this was ransom, and our president saying, "No, this was no ransom, that just happened to be," and then he admitted it later that it was a ransom, the 400 million. Now it's come out that it's way more. Hillary, has more emails released that says that she destroyed the servers and a bunch of the emails and with hammers and all kinds of stuff, methods, and they wiped it with some kind of wipe that makes things undetectable. After she was ordered to turn the stuff over, and and just combining all of that, and where President Obama doesn't seem to even do anything back to Iran, or it just seems like they sure are. They sure are stabbing you in the back if you made some kind of deal with them so they can continue with their nuclear program, and they are openly just dissing you, and you don't do anything, say anything about it. It seems like they have something on him, and I believe her. And I believe that several countries have something on Hillary because they got the emails, and probably it involves Obama, and I think that it has something to do with through the Clinton Foundation. It has something to do with money, because when you look at what happened in Haiti after that earthquake and what have you, the Clintons, almost every deal that went through to for cell phones and money transactions and things like that were going to Haiti after that earthquake, Clintons had their hand in it. And I believe, President Obama, who was president at the time, probably even had some pull in it too. And I think that there's something that people have on Hillary, and it involves Obama. And because there's no other president that would allow Iran to keep dissing us the way they do. And if you were to make some secret deal with money for hostages, and it was known that it's a secret, why would Iran just openly say, no, this was ransom, when Obama's over here saying, no, it wasn't, and he just gets busted and has to admit, okay, that was. And it's against the law to make a deal with Iran like that. From what I hear, it's against the law. You can't do it. And he's done it and lied, and then got caught, and then kept lying and got caught again, because it's even more than the 40 million or whatever it was, 400 million, or it was an extreme amount of money, but now it's up over $1 billion. There's something that someone has on them. You wouldn't just allow that. You couldn't do Donald Trump that way. He would crush you. Something would have to happen. So for Hillary to become president, when 99.9% sure that foreign actors hostile to the United States has her emails, which darn well there's something in those emails that would show that she knew what she had done. According to Comey, she was not indicted because she didn't know what she had done. But there's something in these emails probably that would show that she did know, or even that there was some type of corruption going on with the Clinton Foundation, seeing that Bill Clinton used to get like $20,000 or $30,000 for a speech, and then after she became Secretary of State, all of a sudden he's getting 700 and something, like 780,000 for a 20-minute speech, and it wasn't even to a big group of people. That's not believable. I know that my audience, when I put stories out there, they scrutinize it and say, that story's not believable. So, in my opinion, that's not a believable story. That someone will pay Bill Clinton almost $1 million to come give a 20-minute speech to a few people. Well, that's absurd. I wouldn't give him $10 to come talk to me, because he's not got nothing I want to hear. What would he have that you need to hear that would be worth that kind of money? No, they're peddling influence, and I think there's proof in these emails. So, when it comes down to Hillary running for president, she is so selfish that knowingly people have things against her, and she knows it. I believe she knows this. And she's still willing to grab that power because she can't stand it that her husband was in power and she wasn't. According to the Secret Service agents and stuff, she was ruthless and would act crazy. They'd get on the elevator, and she would be like cussing him up and down with words that they couldn't even repeat, you know. Even she hit one of the Secret Service agents with a Bible one time in the back of the head, you know, kind of deal. They weren't even supposed to look at her in the eyes, but I mean, they would be going in the elevator, and she'd be going off on him, Bill Clinton, so bad that it was embarrassing to the Secret Service agents. And when they would get to wherever they were going, what floor, you know, and the doors would open, they would both smile and walk out holding hands, you know. It's like, to me, that's fake. That is seriously disturbed kind of things. I think that no matter if you like Trump or not, Hillary Clinton is so corrupt. There are so many scandals going all the way back to when Bill was president or governor in Arkansas. All, you know, when they first got in the White House, there was instantly a scandal, the travel gate, and Hillary tried to ruin this man. He was clear to everything, but she tried to ruin him. I mean, she was crushing him so she could bring some of her friends in to run the travel agency out of the White House. And you would think, you know, a person with that kind of ruthlessness that wouldn't just fire you, because they could have said, okay, we want to change the people who run this. We want to bring our own people in. She didn't just do that. She tried to ruin the man, you know, just crush him, because it wasn't anything that any former president had done. They don't just go in there and fire the people and bring new people in, but you could if you wanted. So she would rather just ruin the guy and have a good reason why she did it. And then, you know, the times that Bill Clinton had affairs, she sent people to go intimidate the women, breaking in their homes, leaving like dead animal heads on their porches. I mean, all kinds of crazy stuff. And so when someone would think that Hillary Clinton could possibly be a decent president, to me, it's a scary scenario. You know, what Donald Trump, he may be a person who's not politically correct, but I believe he is a decent person who has run a business and become a billionaire off of a, you know, a relatively small amount of money. You let people win the lottery, and typically they're broke in a few years. You know, so you can't just say, okay, he inherited or got $1 million. He got like $1 million loan or whatever it was from his dad, and turned it into billions and billions of dollars, and still making money. You know, an empire that generates wealth, and so, you know, you have to be knowing what you're doing. He didn't lose the money, squander the money, which typically, look, I know a guy whose grandfather bought a home 2 or 3 houses down across the street from me, spent his whole life paying that off, bought a $40,000 diesel truck, you know, that was paid for and everything, and basically gave it to his grandson. And he dies, the grandfather dies and what have you. Well, within 5 years, the grandson squandered everything. You know, and now he was homeless the last time I heard, and he had sold the house and spent all that money in 1 month. You know, it's absurd. You know, so money is something that you can't give to someone if they don't have a mentality to function with that, you know, kind of money. You know, they're just only rich for a minute kind of thing. And so Trump, you know, obviously he has a mindset to generate wealth, create jobs and things like that. But even if you don't like him, Hillary Clinton is so corrupt, so scary of a scenario, because of foreign actors hostile to the United States has her emails. There's not 30-something thousand emails missing that no one has. People have these emails. There's no way that she had a server that did not get hacked. That is preposterous. Anyone who thinks that is basically living in a dream world, because countries go extreme lengths to get information on other countries. There's no way that Hillary Clinton had an unprotected server that didn't get hacked by probably every darn country that could even get a hacker into the office. You know, it's absurd. I would say that almost every country that has any kind of wealth at all, that has any kind of government that would be hostile to us, that would be brave enough to be hostile to us, would darn sure have people who would have gotten that information. And it's out there, and I think Iran has it, and that's the reason they're able to do what they're doing, because they would just say, look, Barack, I'll release this stuff from Hillary's emails, man. You're screwed. Because I was wondering, why would Barack Obama taint his legacy, knowing what the FBI really said? Because the general public doesn't tell you what the FBI really said, but history will, because it's recorded what he said. And she was extremely negligent. She didn't get indicted because they couldn't prove intent. But she was negligent, and she did lie, and they're drumming it back up, and I think they possibly might get her one of these times here, because there's enough there to get her. And I think the Obama administration intimidated Kwame. And I don't know what they said to him, whether it's like, look, dude, you're going to bring down this country. You can't do this. And it made it into you can't do this to your country kind of thing. Or I don't know. Something very fishy about it all. But that's my thoughts. That's my opinion. And until I know more, that's going to remain my opinion. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. What do y'all think?